Hello everyone and welcome back. In the previous video, we successfully set up the structure of the project. Now it's time to go ahead and add our socket client here. Let's create a file, socket client.jsx. We will have a class name socket client. Inside this class, we will have a socket client equal to null. And then let's have an init function with socket URL and a listener. Let's check if this .socket client is equal to null. Then we want to proceed and create this socket client. So this .socket client is equal to new WebSocket. Let's pass the socket URL. And this .socket client .unopen is going to be listener.onRemote socket client opened. Simple as that. Same goes for this .socket client.onMessage. We will receive the events here and try to receive the message or deserialize the message using JSON.parse events. That's data of it, and use a listener to on remote socket client new message and pass message to it. And if we couldn't deserialize it, we want to simply write an error inside the console of the browser, simply like this. Now this .socket client that's on close will be simply like the others. We simply use the listener to on remote socket client closed. Or if it's not null, then we have one. We want to trigger the listener that the remote socket client is opened. Why would you do that again? Okay, that's for init function. Now we need another function named send data to host, and we will have the data. Simply use a try catch block again. Let's stringify the data again. JSON data is equal to JSON stringify this time data, and this .socket client sends the JSON data. If we couldn't, let's just write another error. That's error sending data. Simple as that. And the last function is going to be close, which will check if this .socket client is valid. We want to use this socket client.close. And also do not forget to export this module. So we will use the default socket clients. Let's go back to our main screen. Right here, we want to initialize the socket clients on the load. So up here, we are going to use some use effect with no dependency. So let's create a socket client here. It's equal to new socket client. Simple as that. And use this socket client and the init function on it. You will add the URL in a moment. And of course, adding the listener inside the class. I'll just create in a second. So const listener is equal to on remote socket client opened, on remote socket client closed, and on remote socket client new message, which will get the message here. And here's the listener that we are passing to it. It actually should start with small l So now they are linked together. Now for the URL, let's go inside the util package and create a new Java or JSX file. Name utils like this. This class is going to have one static function for now, get base URL, and it will receive my user ID as input and simply return the address of the WebSocket, which is going to be localhost 3007 with the username params on it. It's equal to my user ID. And then do not forget to export the module utils. Now let's go back to our main screen and use that utils file that get base URL. For this random string, I want a 5-letter random string. I'll add a helper class here. You can see it has a static function that generates a 5-letter random string. Simple as that. So let's go back to my main screen again. And for my ID, I want to have a const of my user ID, which is equal to useref of random string, generate a random string. Let's go down here and pass my user ID.current. Now it's time to save this socket client inside some global variable here. I'll use state initialization here. So let's say const socket client and set socket client is equal to use state of null. So let's set socket client and pass socket client to it. And for the return function, we want to clean up our socket client dot close like this. Now if we run our app right now, we should be able to see that the socket is connected. Let's log, open the socket, and for the receive message, we want to log the message. Simple as that. Let's run our backend like this. So now the backend is running. Let's actually reopen this one and check the backend log. You should be able to see that the new user is connected with 5 random letter. Let's run it again. Yep, it keeps connecting again and disconnecting again. So right here, we learned how to set up our socket clients. Now it's time to go ahead and start adding our UIs or components and set up the UI that we need. Till the next video, see you everyone.